You know what the unemployment rate in China is? Neither do I, because I'm American and stupid. It's got to be low, right? Those people get up at 3 in the morning to practice the violin for 4.5 hours. Then they work on math for 12 hours, and whatever's left are ninjas. If you think for 1 second we will ever catch up with them, you are out of your mind. Just sit at home and be patient until they take over. Quite frankly, they deserve our country.
Although there is plenty of private capital throughout China, capital is not allowed to dominate political power like in the West. With capital calling the shots, China would not have been able to carry out the largest scale poverty alleviation in history. Capital doesn't own their political system. How juvenile. And the largest scale poverty alleviation in history. Aren't you interested in progress, China? Okay. Here in the U.S., we're getting ready to kick millions of Americans out of their homes because the government won't defend them against landlords during a pandemic. And this, despite the fact that there are over 17 million vacant homes in the United States. Now that is what I call progress. Progress isn't getting rid of poverty, it's increasing it. Which is good because it means that the very rich are taking that money from the poor to increase their wealth, which our billionaires totally are. A bunch of them live in outer space now.
10 days to build a hospital. There is no other country that can do anything that fast. Like in America, it takes longer than that to get cable installed. I've learned when you order cable in this country, you aren't ordering it for you, you're ordering it for your grandkids. That's what you're doing.
The Asian will look like an accountant and be able to hurt you without you even seeing it coming. And they don't talk like anybody else before a fight. You can be real disrespectful to an Asian. You know what I'm saying? They'll be like, "No, we can do this, Jackie Chan." And he'll be like, "I don't think you want this trouble." I will allow you the opportunity to move along, sir. Violence will inconvenience both of us. But you want to persist, you know what I'm saying? Man, I don't care about that. I'm from the streets. Let's do this. And all of a sudden you just hear, hip, hit, hop. Next thing you know, you on the ground, you can't see or hear, and you done peed on yourself. And he's helping you up. Now, what have we learned today?
I love America, I truly do. I live here and I love it. I have nothing against it. And none of the things I'm about to mention affect me in any way, right? You may not be the freest place on earth. Just a quick example, out of the 92 free countries on the planet, you have the highest rate of incarceration. 1% of your adult population is in prison. That's double that of the country that comes in second, which is South Africa. So statistically, in the land of the free, you have the least amount of free people.
You go around any country in Europe and you'll see a rail track that's not even been used, that's actually been closed down. I see it in Ireland, I see it in Italy, I see rail in France that's not been used. Okay, we made improvements between some of the big cities with some fast track, but very little of it. China has built 30,000 kilometers of fast track rail. Now, Europe has only a fraction of that because we don't seem to have had the appetite for it.
Despite having only 5% of the world's population, China has allowed 500,000 of their citizens to die from COVID-19, which is 20% of the world total. At least a third of those deaths are due to the fact that China does not guarantee their people health care, which is a barbaric, medieval, disastrous I'm sorry. That's the United States. Our government is the one that's killed 500,000 of our people and doesn't give everyone health. China continues to let down the rest of the industrialized world. I mean, it's just not living up to the standards set by much of the globe. For example, as Danny Haifong wrote recently, China has not been to war in more than 40 years, never conducts regime change operations, does not get involved in destabilization of other countries, and does not unilaterally impose sanctions as a form of economic bullying. What are you doing, China? Do you want to play with the big boys or not? And China, no lateral economic bullying? What? How else are you going to bend other nations to your will, killing thousands of innocent people in a process that those people have nothing to do with, huh? Killing innocents is called part of growing up, buddy.
These conservatives are really something, aren't they? They're all in favor of the unborn. They will do anything for the unborn. But once you're born, you're on your own. Pro-life conservatives are obsessed with the fetus from conception to 9 months. After that, they don't want to know about you. They don't want to hear from you. No, nothing. No neonatal care, no daycare, no Head Start, no school lunch, no food stamps, no welfare, no nothing. If you're pre-born, you're fine. If you're preschool, you're Conservatives don't give a about you until you reach military age. Then they think you are just fine, just what they've been looking for. Conservatives want live babies so they can raise them to be dead soldiers. Pro-life. Pro-life. These people aren't pro-life, they're killing doctors. What kind of pro-life is that? What, they'll do anything they can to save a fetus, but if it grows up to be a doctor, they just might have to kill it? They're not pro-life. You know what they are? They're anti-woman. Simple as it gets. Anti-woman.
China, by the way, is not aiming to take over the world. I have gone to China for 42 years, many times a year on many cases. It's the last thing in the world that I'm worried about, is China taking over the world. So don't worry so much about China. Really don't. Nice place, good food, fascinating culture. Go have a visit.
Hey friends, Mario Cavallo here. I was thinking about the AUKUS agreement, you know, United States, UK, Australia, $368 billion being spent by Australia, a really important investment to protect their island. I mean, China's going to attack them at any moment. They need those nuclear submarines. So let me go through the list here of countries China has attacked over the last 4 decades. They've dropped bombs on, massacred hundreds of thousands of innocent families, citizens of other countries, attacked, started war with. Here we go. Let's begin. That's it. Have a great day.
And before I had been in China, and before I'd been interested in the country, I knew about this difference. I assumed that it was not us, the Westerners, that were brainwashed. I thought it was the Chinese people that were brainwashed, and this is what most people in the West believe. All the Western media say the same thing about China. All the Western media can't be wrong. That's what I used to think. Living here and discovering the country, I came to the amazing realization that it was me, in fact, who had been brainwashed all along. And this was, without a doubt, the most life-changing realization in my life. It made me question almost everything about my understanding of the world.
They have the largest prison state in the world, regularly imprisoning over 2 million people every year. They are also quite racist, despite the fact that ethnic minorities only make up 1/3 of their population under 18 years of age. They make up 2/3 of those under 18 incarcerated. So China is locking up children basically because their skin color or ethnicity is different than the... Oh, that's America too. God damn it! I see it now. The U.S. is the biggest prison state in the world, locking up 2 million people every year. Listen, guys, you need to mark the pages a little more clearly. Some professionalism. That's all I ask. Okay, let's get back to human rights violations by China. People of color are 3 times as likely to be killed by police in China. Nope! America! America!
It's the old American double standard, you know, say one thing, do something different. And of course, the country is founded on the double standard. That's our history. We were founded on a very basic double standard. This country was founded by slave owners who wanted to be free. Am I right? A group of slave owners who wanted to be free. So they killed a lot of white English people in order to continue owning their black African people so they could wipe out the rest of the red Indian people and move west and steal the rest of the land from the brown Mexican people, giving them a place to take off and drop their nuclear weapons on the yellow Japanese people. You know what the motto? You know what the motto of this country ought to be? You give us a color, we'll wipe it out.
Rather than cooperating with the world to help end this pandemic, China has weaponized medical care and vaccines, withholding them from countries that it considers adversaries at a time when we should be focused on our shared humanity, not toxic nationalism. Not to mention, they're caging refugee children at their borders and dropping bombs in 7 countries around the world, causing untold destruction, death, and misery. I mean, China is truly a fucking monster of a country. Wait, it's the United States. Everything in here is about the United States. Jesus! Who researched this shit? Derek? Was it Derek? Is it?
We go to the British Museum. That's the biggest museum in London, in the city. We go to the British Museum. It's huge. And it blew my mind because I was like, wow, white people stole all this shit. All this shit is stolen. That's crazy. The audacity. I think that's the real word to describe white people. It's not racist. Audacious. I'm not saying you're the only one that steals. That's not why you're wrong. Everybody steals. Niggas steal. Black people steal. But when we steal, we spread the shit out. Because we're afraid. We're like, they might come at any moment. Not the white man. Put it all in one building. Erect a fortress for it. And yes, charge them $20 to see it. And if one of them touches it, shoot them. Jesus.
This country's only 200 years old, and already we've had 10 major wars. We average a major war every 20 years in this country, so we're good at it. And it's a good thing we are. We're not very good at anything else anymore. Huh? Got no steel industry left, can't educate our young people, can't get health care to our old people, but we can bomb the shit out of your country, all right?
We're not losing to China. We lost. In China alone, they have 40,000 kilometers of high-speed rail. America has none. Our fastest train is the train that goes around the zoo. China sees a problem, and they fix it. They build a dam. We debate what to rename it. That's why their airports look like this, and ours look like this.